everybody, it's Inspector Pulse at home again, and I'm going to answer an email that came in on my phone today from Dory Mifaso. And Dory Mifaso writes, in school, we are singing tunes using what we call solfege syllables, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And she says, where do those syllables come from? What's going on here? Well, I can answer that, and I'm going to discuss it with you right now. I have my own idea about where this came from. There's no evidence to support this at all, but that doesn't stop me from having this idea, which I think is correct. So the idea is this, that if you take the scale do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do comes back, it's very obvious to me that these come from certain words that have those syllables as the first part of the word. And I decided that these are the words. Donut, raisin, meatball, falafel, salsa, lollipop, tea, like the drink, donut. I'll do that again, and listen carefully. Maybe you want to sing it with me. Donut, raisin, meatball, falafel, salsa, lollipop, tea, donut, same note. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And I've tried singing using what we call solfege. That's what we say when we use the syllables to sing. Singing like twinkle. It works perfectly well. Like, let's see. Twinkle, twinkle. So that's donut, salsa, lollipop, salsa, falafel, meatball, raisin, donut, salsa, falafel, meatball, raisin, salsa, falafel, meatball, raisin, donut, salsa, lollipop, salsa, falafel, meatball, raisin, donut. You see, that works very well. If you leave off the second part of the word, you get do, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, fa, mi, re, do, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. See, it works a lot faster. You can go faster and it's easier if you leave out the second part. But I think it's easier to remember the syllables if you say the whole thing. Let's take a look at London Bridge. I mean, without the whole word, it's just sol, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, re, sol, mi, do. Now I have to do it slower if I'm going to sing the correct syllables with the entire words. Salsa, lollipop, salsa, falafel, meatball, falafel, salsa, raisin, meatball, falafel, salsa, salsa, lollipop, salsa, falafel, meatball, falafel, salsa, raisin, salsa, meatball, donut. I think that's correct. But I'm going to look it up just to be sure, because, you know, when you don't have any proof or evidence for something, you really shouldn't be so sure that it's true. It probably isn't. But I mean, I kind of like making up history. And also you can add to history, because if I'm making this up, which I might be, then it's going to be history as Inspector Pulse's solfege syllables. Okay? So those are Inspector Pulse's solfege syllables. But I'm going to look it up. Now I'll use my computer. Okay. Well, it says here that a guy named Guido d'Arezzo, in the 11th century. Now that is a lot longer ago than anyone I know has ever existed. I mean, I don't know anybody from the 11th century personally. Do you? Well, anyway, he lived in the 11th century, and he took a hymn, a Latin hymn, and he used this particular hymn because it went up the scale at the beginning of each line, and he just took the syllables, and the hymn goes like this. It usually is sung by monks here. Let's see now. It goes, ut queant laxis, and then resonari fibris, mira gestorum famuli tuorum, solve polluti labireatum Sancte Ioannes. Now, I may not have sung that perfectly because my Latin is almost non-existent, but I'm sure that's the tune, and I'm sure that the syllables that landed on each note were correct. They were ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, and there was no, that wasn't in there because they didn't have that note in the Middle Ages in their scales. They had scales that were hexachords of just 6 notes. But you know what? Twinkle, twinkle's only 6 notes. It never gets up there. It goes twinkle, twinkle, da 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 da, and it never goes twinkle, twinkle, little star. It never does that. So it's a lot like the hymn. So we have do, but it said ut. Ut queant laxis ut. What is ut? Well, it turns out for a while people used to sing ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, and they didn't have a note for that. So they took these words, Sancte Ioannes, sa, the sa, and the I from Ioannes. Well, it's actually St. John in Latin, I happen to know that. But anyway, they called it C. So originally, the scale was ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, ut. Well, that got changed. There was a woman in the 18th century, it says here, 18th century, named Sarah Ann Glover. And she taught people how to use solfege syllables, and she changed them to make it a little better. I think she improved it. And so she took away the C and made it T, because she didn't want to have any syllables that have the same first letter. And then this guy, an Italian, what was his name? Oh yeah, Giovanni Battista Doni, an Italian. This was before her, actually, a few hundred years before. He changed the ut to do after his own last name, Doni. Wow, I think donut is better, but anyway. So we ended up with do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. There. Now, I believe that Sarah Ann Glover also took the L off of sol, although a lot of people still sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, but she made it so that none of the syllables had any weird things hanging off the end. They were just vowels. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, which is about the most fun and easy way to do it, I suppose. Except for my system, the donut system. Let's go over that again. Donut, raisin, meatball, falafel, salsa, lollipop, tea. I left the tea alone. Donut. Now if we go in thirds, that's what a little scale. Then we have donut, meatball, raisin, falafel, meatball, salsa, falafel, lollipop, salsa, tea. And then lollipop, donut, donut. Well, you know, I think this is really how it should go. It's important to improve things. I mean, Sarah Ann Glover improved the ut thing, and she improved the whole thing with the T and the so, and the ut thing was improved by Doni, and then the whole thing is improved by me, Inspector Pulse, by using foods that we all know to remind us of the syllables. And I think it's much easier to sing donut, raisin, meatball, falafel, salsa, and lollipop and tea than it is to just go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Don't you think so? I'm not sure, but I think so. Anyway, I remember it that way. And I'm going to call my daughter, Katya Pulse, and ask her to join me in singing Inspector Pulse's solfege song. And after you learn it, you can sing it with me too. And you will never forget these solfege syllables. And you may have me to thank for that they will be with you in your mind forever. You have me to thank for that, okay? So let me call my daughter, and I'll get her to come over here. Katya? Yeah, it's Inspector Pulse, your father? Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my study. If you could come over, you don't need your violin this time. I just want you to sing Inspector Pulse's solfege song. It has donut and raisin and meatball and falafel. And no, we're not eating. We're singing. No eating. Just singing. Yeah. Okay, come on over, and maybe you should eat before you come over, because this is going to make you hungry. All right, see you soon. I can't wait for her to show up. Hi, everybody. It's Inspector Pulse at home again with Katya Pulse, my daughter.
Hi.
And we're going to sing Inspector Pulse's solfege song, right, Katya?
Yes, Inspector.
Here we go.
Donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea. And don't forget the donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea.
And don't forget that
Donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea.
And don't forget that donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea. And don't forget that donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea. And don't forget that
Donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea.
And don't forget that donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea. And don't forget that donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce. Falafel to go, salsa with crispy corn chips, lollipops for me with tea. And don't forget that
Donuts are tasty, raisins are good, and cereal meatballs are great in marinara sauce.
Hi, it's Inspector Pulse at home again. Remember, you can leave your questions for Inspector Pulse, that's me, in the comments section below. Click on the link in the video description to find more activities related to this that you can try at home. See you next time.